the situation's changed so drastically.
And I'm not good at being spontaneous, so I'm just going to, hopefully this works. So it's difficult to write a speech or anything to read to Richard because he's the best writer that any of us know. And I've met Dan Brown. But at first my plan, was just to compile everything he's written and write a best of Richard's speech, which would without a doubt be a lot better than this speech. But as somebody who writes for a living, it feels wrong not to write for him. So in the game of love, Richard probably has better stories than anybody here, except for Ramage, the fairy guy over there. But great stories don't mean great happiness. I know Richard, let me edit the tense really quick. I know Richard would have wished that he left New Zealand sooner, but in his narrative of life, he needed to stay just a little bit longer to meet Ray. Ray, you were perfect. You were perfectly made for Richard. I had a feeling from the moment I heard about you that this would turn into something substantial. Richard was so adamant about not working and not becoming anything, it was painfully obvious how much he was crushing on you. The first time I saw them both together was, I believe, over Wings. And it was really kind of beautiful how they kept looking at each other, but only when the other person would notice. It was really obvious how much they loved and cared about each other, and they were trying their best to hide it. Ray, thank you for being so amazing to Richard. Thank you for accepting his motley crew of friends into your house and treating us all like family. Thank you for helping Richard's dreams come true and supporting him. Richard, I knew you for many years, more than I care to count. I've known you throughout many lives and incarnations, and this final one was without a doubt your best. And I know that if you and Ray had lived, it would have just kept getting better. I love and loved you both. Here was to a one-of-a-kind wedding and one-of-a-kind people.
Would anyone else like to speak?
I had something, but it's kind of weird now that they're dead, but I guess the show must go on. So we were talking about family, and family is made up as people who will always have your back, who will love you, support you, but will just do anything for you. Family isn't always the one you're born with, though. It's what you make up with over your journey of your life. So I met Ray 20 years ago. So over half my life I've known him. He's my friend, my mentor, and part of my family. Was my family. Having met Richard, I've seen huge changes in him. He was happier, he smiled more, he just was more full of life. Not anymore. To watch. So I was going to say welcome to the family, Richard. We may not be the most sane bunch, but we are
sane bunch.
Sorry. But then again, the great ones never are.
Oh, sorry. You hit a pun, man. Sorry. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Was there anyone else who'd like to speak?
He planned something. I didn't, but rest in peace. You guys were an inspiration for me.
Cheers. Yeah, I'll speak, and you can see if Richard moves, because under no circumstances was I able to say anything at his wedding, but of course he's carked it now.
You can say whatever you want. It's
Yeah,
just
So I prepared a long speech here. No, still don't think. What I will say is, having known Richard for longer than any of you actually, because I was there at the time. I have to say over the last few months and recently I've been speaking to Richard mostly by phone because I'm part of New Zealand and he doesn't want to be in New Zealand. But that's cool, I understand that. The relaxation and happiness in his voice comes through very clearly, and I'm very pleased as his dad to hear that. So it is unfortunate that Richard and Ray are both dropped dead on the floor.
It's been so good.
However,
The most relaxed you've ever seen.
I will say that he died happy. I'm pretty sure they voted
Yeah.
for him, so that's all I've got to say. But it wasn't really
So now is the cremation
I used to work with crematorium, so I could probably handle that.
Got it.
Yeah. I could do that, no problem.
John's got the flame turned up very high.
There we go.
Has everyone who's wanted to speak said their piece?
I'd like to just say Ray could have at least said goodbye.
It's a disappointing thing that since they have died before being wed, they will live forever in sin.
drink of that.
Yeah, cheers!
Hallelujah.
I think, short of Doug, I've probably known Richard. I've probably known him a little bit longer than a lot of people here. I've known him for about 12 years, and we met when I was about 13 or 14, and in those years, he's very much, as well as in like the general sense of, you know, friendship as family, he's very much become a part of my family. He came to multiple Christmases. When he wasn't at a Christmas, it was asked why he wasn't at a Christmas. He received a cracker from, my aunt made a cracker for him one year because she makes Christmas crackers for everyone. And then one of the things from his cracker was left behind the couch, and the next year he didn't have a cracker because he was found to be ungrateful. But nonetheless, he's been a very, very good friend, and I'm sorry to see him go. It does make me wonder if, considering it's the month we're in, and the spirit of the wedding, if perhaps him and Ray might become ghosts, as you might expect, considering their desire to become ghosts. I'd be surprised if they became ghosts right now.
Who plays Nick Cave at a wedding? Mazel!
Who plays Nick Cave at a wedding? I think we should bring that.
Always split on the dog.
With the red right hand.
They'll make lines like they used to do. Get rid of it. Yeah. Is it a Polaroid? Yeah, it's a Polaroid. Don't worry about it. That's what the wedding is. We weren't just kidding you. This is your jacket on Did you get one of that?
Excuse me.
I know, I got it. I get some wine for him. Oh, she goes roar. I got the cake.
Okay, cool. You sure have, Richard and Ray. Frankly, Richard, we're surprised you took so long. Yep. Well, before you two enter the infinite void of ghostly wonder, would the two of you like to get gay married? Sure, yes. Friends, we are gathered here on the day of Richard and Ray's mysterious murder to join them in spooky matrimony. I'd like to note that Richard's best man couldn't make it today. Nigel, the plastic skeleton, got called away on a last-minute business trip for his work at the career factory. He asked me to mention that his absence is not suspicious at all, and that he hopes everyone likes the pretty earth-grown sunflower. When two people's stories line up, it feels magical. The more disparate points that click into place, the more impossible it seems. For Richard and Ray, the odds were unfathomably low. They met on the other side of the world, in a country Ray had never been to, and that Richard was on his way out of. They bonded over a love of dogs and a dislike of people they were with. Somehow they kept in touch and just kept finding ways to be in each other's lives. Now, in my role as Dad, I've been getting emails about Richard for a long time. But I've only known him personally for about 4 years. I've seen him at his best and at his worst. Then, when Richard first told me about Ray, he said he'd met a man who looked like Maurice Sendak and Ed Flanders had gone together on a slide too fast together. And I knew that was something special. Ray and Richard were thrown together and realized they could make each other happy. More importantly, they realized they wanted to. Ray, will you take this ghost to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I will.
Richard, same question, but with Ray's name instead of yours. Good. We now come to the part of the ceremony where the ghosts will read their vows. Richard has requested that Ray go first in case he needs to offer rebuttal. After he's asked this, he giggled because he had said the word butter. Ray.
I got a dog judging assignment in New Zealand 2 years ago. So I had a good time. I was in Auckland judging dogs, and then I spent some time with some people and then some other people. And then I went to Wellington by a couple of other cities to spend a couple of days, and I was put in touch with some people who were going to take me to a bird sanctuary called Finlandia. I'm in front of my hotel, and there's this young man pacing back and forth, with yellow shoes on. And he finally decided to speak to me because I'm not very outgoing. And so we went to the Zealandia, whatever the hell you call it, sanctuary. And we did not get along very well with the people who were hosting both of us. So we kind of like escaped. So we spent some time together, and then we spent some more time together, and then we spent some more time together. So actually, coming around to my wedding vows, this is what I thought I would write. When evening falls, I'll look up, and there you will be. I will take your hand, and you will take mine. Now, where are our rings? We need our rings.
That happens after.
All right. With this ring, I pledge to you my enduring trust and affection. May the eternal shine of this ring keep our time, allure, and affection exciting.
Aww. Alright.
Here comes the rebuttal.
But
2 pages. Wait, what? Did you do dry?
Alright. I want everyone to know that my original vows were titled Bow Wow Wow. Where are my dogs at? Look how big my font is so that I don't... All my life I've considered myself a Marsha Brady. But you turned me into a jam. Months and months of telling people I had a boyfriend, but they couldn't meet him because he was in Canada. I met you at a point in my life when I had no idea where I would be the following week, let alone 2 years later. I did my best to play it cool, but you just knew that I couldn't resist you. The first time I said goodbye to you at an airport, I thought I might never see you again. I went to kiss you, and you pulled away, smiled, and told me you'd see me at Christmas. And then you just walked away all casually. So I booked my flights to Canada that night. But I still played it cool and didn't tell you for another week. You make me happy. And it sounds like a small thing, but I'm not someone who holds on to happiness easily. I can find fun and adventure and distraction easily, but that consistently warm feeling of love and a life just being better because of someone wonderful, that was something that I had never had before. You make me stupid. You make me like things that I thought I would never like, because you being there makes it all just better. You tried sushi for the first time, and I went to a dog show. You have been the first person in my life to make me feel like I'm your front line. You accept me for the approximately 85% nonsense that I embody. You think about me and you think about what will make me happy, rather than just what should make someone happy. And also you have dogs, so a lot of them we grow old together, and we probably don't. And so I'm really happy that today we got to die together. I am excited to spend the rest of your life with you. You are sexy as fuck, and you are the perfect type of old man because you still have lived, you've had this wonderful life, but you still have this willingness to learn and grow and have a future. So, bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yo.
Wow.
Now let's get the little section and then leave our parts in the
Not yet. Wow. And I'm not reading this from the script. Hold script closer during this bit for the joke to land. Oh. But that was positively the most heartwarming and well-written set of wedding vows I've ever seen. Top-notch work, guys. Now, I invite the witnesses to step forward to sign my... Okay, this better be way too boring, so screw it. And the one part of Nigel that is here today, his hand with the wedding rings. With the official Nigel hand carrier. Please bring Nigel's hand to the front.
Oh my God.
Please, repeat after me. I give you this awesome ghost ring as a reminder that we will be linked forever by our love.
I give you this awesome ghost ring as a reminder that we'll be linked together forever by our love. That's it.
I give you this awesome ghost ring
I give you this awesome ghost ring
as a reminder that we will be linked
as a reminder that we will be linked
forever by our love. I now pronounce you Ghost and Ghost. Please, mash your food holes together.
Yeah!
Fully dead still? Oh no. Well, I sure hope that someone can figure out who did this murder to us. But right now, we're gonna go and do sex things.
Oh yeah!
Dasher.